We are now discussing justifying circumstances under the revised penal code found in Article 11 thereof and discussed in your Module 9. So, justifying circumstance is a circumstance which exempts from criminal liability. So, there are different circumstances affecting the criminal liability of an offender. What do we mean by that? Diba? If you have committed a crime, then you are given a corresponding penalty. Now, that determines your criminal liability or that is determinative of the liability na ginahatag sa imo sa court. So, may ara sang circumstances, meaning may ara sang facts within a case which could affect kung ano ang penalty nga ihatag sa imo, thereby affecting ang liability nimo. So, dili makita ta under the revised penal code that there are justifying, exempting, mitigating, and aggravating circumstances, which we will tackle later on. But ngayon, we will discuss ang justifying circumstance. So when we say it's a justifying circumstance, it's a circumstance that leaves you without criminal liability because the court or the law acknowledges that there was no crime committed. So, ang matabo kung may krimen nga natabo and may justifying circumstance within sa facts ng case, wala liability ang nag-commit sang krimen or ang accused. Pag may exempting naman, gina-consider sang court na yes, may krimen nga natabo, pero ikaw nga nag-ubra sina is exempted from any liability. Mitigating and aggravating circumstances naman may ara sang liability. Pero kung may mitigating, ang imo nga liability manubuan 1 degree or depende sa case. Ang aggravating naman mas madugangan ang imo liability. So kung may mitigating manubo ang penalty nimo or nabuhina ng mga adlaw nga ikaw ang priso, kung may aggravating madugangan ang imo liability or madugangan ang penalty nga ginhatag sa imo. So for now, we're just going to talk about justifying circumstances. That's what's covered in your Module 9. So justifying circumstances, as defined, are those circumstances which, if present in the commission of the crime, the offender is said to have acted within the bounds of the law. Therefore, the offender is said not to have transgressed the law. Hence, there is no crime committed. There is no criminal liability and there is also no civil liability. If the accused invoked any of the justifying circumstances under Article 11, he is in effect admitting to the commission of the crime but at the same time avoiding the criminal liability thereof. So if may ara kita cases, amo na siya matabo sa court, usually if the person pleads not guilty, no? Ang defendant would say that he is not guilty. But if you invoke a justifying circumstance, you would come to court and you would say that I have actually committed a crime. However, there are justifying circumstances na natabo which would justify nga natabo ang crime and this is therefore why wala ako criminal liability. So, justifying circumstances show both admission and avoidance. You admit that you have committed the crime or you admit that you have committed the facts that are being alleged. However, you give a justifying circumstance why you did it. If a person accused of a crime invokes any of the justifying circumstances, he admits the commission of the crime, but he avoids responsibility thereof. So, what are the justifying circumstances under the revised penal code? Under Article 11, the following do not incur any criminal liability. There are six under the revised penal code. First, and the most common probably that we know of, is self-defense, which the revised penal code says anyone who acts in defense of his person or rights, provided that the following circumstances are present, is absolved from criminal liability. Meaning, if you're acting in defense of yourself, of your person, or your rights, then you are not criminally liable. Anong elements na dapat present kung mag-claim kita self-defense? First, there's unlawful aggression. We have mentioned this na sa aton ng mga exam, sa aton mga lessons before, that there has to be unlawful aggression coming from the person who died, coming from the person who was killed. He needs to have attacked you. He needs to have put your life in danger. That is the first requisite. Second, there's reasonable necessity of the means employed to prevent or repel it.
Reasonable dapat ang means nga gingamit mo para protektahan imo lawas. So, pag ang ginatake sa imo is hindi magita mo nakalala and you immediately reacted by giving an attack that is fatal and that is not necessary sa situation. For example, ginhana ka man lang nga sumbagon kag ikaw ya nagkuha ka na pusil mo kay tiruhon mo na, then you cannot say that that is a reasonable means to defend yourself. Why? Because ikaw sumbagon ka lang pero ikaw nagkuha ka na dayon pusil tapos gintiro mo na. So, makita mo ang variance, tama kalayo ang gigamit mo nga means para i-defend ang imo lawas kay in the first place unarmed ang nag-atake sa imo. So, first, there must be unlawful aggression, there must be an attack coming, putting your life or your rights in danger. And second, dapat ang gingamit mo nga means to protect yourself is reasonable. It is within reasonable means. And third and lastly, there's lack of sufficient provocation on the part of the person defending himself. If ikaw nagda-defend sa lawas mo, dapat wala mo siya gin-provoke. Dapat wala mo ginpainit ta iya ulo or in ilonggo, dapat wala ka nag-cause ng aggression sa part sa nag-atake simo. Dapat wala mo siya ang tawag dire, gin-provoke, wala mo siya gamitan way or gamitan sang words para nga siya mismo even though hindi gyud makadapat pag-atake yun, gin-atake ya ka tungod sa init sang ulo ya simo. So, as an example, A was waiting for a ride in order to go to work when suddenly he saw B fast approaching him, telling him, I will kill you. And B was running towards A with a bolo raised on his hand in a hacking position. So pakadto na siya kay A, si B pakadto na kay A gasinggit nga patsunta ka, may dala siya nga binangon sa iya nga kamot. So when he was about 5 feet away from A shot B. So as a defense, hintiro si B. A was then prosecuted for homicide and said that he acted in self-defense. He invoked the first justifying circumstance. Is A liable of homicide or should A be acquitted based on self-defense? Tandaan ha, may arma si B. Yung nagadlagan, pakadto kay A, kagasinggit nga patsyonta ka, armado si B. And si A, ginko ay pusil, kag gintiro niya si B and said he acted in self-defense. Is A correct? Yes, A should be acquitted of the crime based on self-defense. Why? The elements of self-defense are present. First, unlawful aggression on the part of the victim. May unlawful aggression bala? Yes, there was unlawful aggression on the part of B. The said act of B running towards A, shouting, I will kill you, with a bolo raised in a hacking position in his hand, places the life and limb of A in an actual and imminent danger. Second element, reasonable necessity of the means employed. Yes, there was, because the life and limb of A was in danger. There was this bolo, which was holding in a hacking position at the precise moment. He has no weapon but the use of his gun. Because ginatake siya a with a weapon that could have put his life in a fatal position. So what anong obrahon ni B? He simply took his gun and retaliated to protect himself. It was enough that there was this weapon that was life threatening, and so he took out his gun, which was also life threatening. It was reasonable to prevent ang natabo sa iya. Whereas, if wala man lang armas ang nag-atake, or if stick abe ang gamit, and imo gintiro mo siya dayon sa ulo, then it would not be reasonable means to protect yourself. And the last element is also present, which is lack of sufficient provocation on the part of A. Was merely waiting for a ride. There was no provocation at all. If ever A and B had a fight the day after, even if A was the one who provoked the said crime, the said provocation was not imminent to the unlawful aggression. Sorry, this should be if ever A and B had a fight the day before. So if it was the day before, then the provocation was not imminent, hindi siya immediate to the unlawful aggression on the part of the victim. Hence, the third element is still present. All of the elements of self-defense being present, A should be acquitted of the crime charge based on self-defense. How about in this second situation? A was waiting for a ride when suddenly here comes B the person whom he had an altercation a day before, and B was fast approaching him, hurriedly holding a bolo in his hand. The bolo was pointed down to the ground, and B was fast approaching. Nag-away sila the day before, nagkadto si B nga may dala nga bolo, pero ang bolo, naka-point man lang sa dalom. Si A felt danger, and so when B was about 5 feet away, A pulled out his pistol and shot B. Kulbaan si A, and when palapit na si B, ginkuha na iya pusil kag tiro na si B. Even though ang armas or ang bolo ni B naga-point sa ground. Kag wala naga-atake or wala iging put in a position nga manug-atake siya kay A. Prosecuted for homicide, A said he acted in self-defense. Is there now self-defense in the case? Tandaan na wala, again, ang weapon ni B, wala iya ginataya kay A. Nagapakadto pa lang siya kay A. The Supreme Court said no, there is no self-defense because there is no unlawful aggression. First element, was there unlawful aggression? None. There is no unlawful aggression. The act of B of approaching A with a weapon, a bladed weapon, facing down, does not yet constitute unlawful aggression because the mere act of holding a bolo does not place the life and limb of the person defending himself in actual or imminent danger. Why? Wala iya pa ginkaptan kagin taya or ginthreaten kay A. Ara lang sa iya ang iya nga weapon. So when you become police officers in the future, you should take note that your or the persons, let's say you're facing, maybe uh, you're about to arrest somebody, hindi siya magupod sa inyo, or may kinanglan ka mo dakpon due to an order, kaya may due to a warrant, and that person has a weapon, basta gani ula gintaya sa inyo ang weapon, that does not give you the right yet to defend yourself, or rather to employ violent means to defend yourself. Why? Because you are not yet threatened by the weapon. Okay, there being no unlawful aggression, there is nothing to repel. The use of the gun is not reasonably necessary. And as such, A should be convicted as charged. So wala man ang second element because the use of the gun is not reasonably necessary to defend himself.